Hey guys, this is MB from underdogchance.com and welcome back to my MLB betting model projections and today's MLB picks. In today's video I have 3 bets and we will go through all the projections directly from my spreadsheet. Right now I'm sitting at plus 22 units of profit with positive yield, positive closing line value numbers, beating the line more than 70% of times. And yesterday I went 1-1 with small loss. Those are the last games, as I mentioned yesterday. For example, Dodgers lost 2 straight games against Colorado. Many teams are already in playoffs, so maybe you should be a little bit more careful with the stakes. But of course, this is all speculation. At the end of the day, I like to stay with the numbers. So either I stay away from these games or I simply bet based on numbers, because opinions are not going to win me in the long run. And anyway, I will show my winning percentages. And if you will like the video, please like it, subscribe to the channel so you will not miss the next video. I will also put another video for soccer today, for Champions League. I'm doing pretty well with soccer. This is some new challenge for me this season, because despite I have created 9 different sports betting models to help our members to bet with the numbers, of course I cannot bet 9 different sports. It is always recommended that you focus on 1 or 2 sports at the time, or market, I must be correct, because people confuse the sport and the market, because sport is not important in sports betting. We're talking about the markets, because for example, baseball has many markets. Okay, you can bet full game, money line, you can bet first half, you can bet on totals, you can bet on player propositions, and one sport or the league can have many markets. These markets also have different rules. Also, bookmakers have different margins or VIC or juice on these games. There is also different liquidity. Different markets among one league or sport can be easier to beat, harder to beat, and this is something we need to understand, because a lot of times people ask me what you bet, which sport. It doesn't matter. It only matters which market you bet, okay? Because some markets are harder to beat. With some markets you can bet much more money, and some markets are smaller, but you can beat them easier, okay? So I will show my projections for today's MLB money line, full game, first half. You also have projected totals if you like to bet on totals. And let's start with the first game. So Yankees against Texas Rangers. Based on my projections, Yankees will have 61.97% of chance to win this game, and my projections show that the odds on Yankees should be minus 163. Right now, bookmakers still don't have the odds on Yankees, so you can check later if they will have similar odds. But maybe there will be some changes with the pitchers or the players. This betting model is player line-based model, so if players will change, also odds and probabilities will change a little bit. But I think I will stay away from this game, because there are still not enough information at this moment, and why bookmakers still don't have the odds on the market. The same with Washington Mets. Based on my projections, if Espino and Walker start today, my projections show that Mets should be at minus 236, and I give them 70.25% of chance to win this game. I believe that we will have similar odds later, but also Mets are also in the playoffs. We can check standings. Mets are also in the playoffs, as you see, with 98 wins, so they will maybe rest some players, or the players will not give 100% in this game. So if you bet on such a low odds, be careful a little bit, okay? Then we have Kansas City Royals against Cleveland, Daniel Lynch against Quantrill. Based on my projections, Cleveland should be at minus 142. Bookmakers have them at minus 179. So as you see, bookmakers have them as a little bit bigger favorite than me. I didn't find enough value in Kansas win with full game money line, but I found a value with Kansas City in first 5 innings. Based on my projections, they should be at plus 107. I use decimal odds, and bookmakers have them at plus 150. So my recommended bet is Kansas City first 5 innings plus 0.5. This is Asian handicap or spread, which means that they should not lose in first 5 innings. So either it can be a draw or they can lead after 5 innings and bet is won. Okay. So this is my first bet today. Detroit, Seattle, Eduardo Rodriguez, Chris Flexen. Some sites have different pitchers. Official MLB.com site has this matchup: Eduardo Rodriguez against Chris Flexen. Based on my projections, there's not enough value. So they are playing 2 games doubleheader. They will maybe change the pitchers a little bit. Seattle, as you will see, Seattle, they are already in playoffs, and Detroit, they are out of the playoffs. So we will see the game later, but no bet and no value. St. Louis, Pittsburgh, I have for St. Louis average number because they will change some pitcher, I think, or we are not sure who will pitch, so I will stay away from this game too. St. Louis is also in playoffs. They will rest some players, or as I said, some of the players will not risk the injury. So from such games, I think it is better to stay away, especially if we don't know who will pitch. Chicago Cubs against Cincinnati. Both teams are out of the playoffs. So we have Chicago Cubs, we have Cincinnati, so they will play for the fans. Yesterday, I think Chicago lost against Cincinnati, and today I have small value with Chicago Cubs. Based on my projections, Chicago Cubs should be at minus 121. Bookmakers have them as a small underdog, close to even, and because of that, I have Chicago Cubs to win full game at 1 unit. Atlanta, Miami, no bookmakers odds at this moment. Atlanta is in playoffs. The same story like with other teams that are already in playoffs. But based on my projections, if those 2 pitchers start, Atlanta should be small favorite. I have them at minus 115. I didn't check the latest updates for lineups, so this is just approximately calculation for this game. Okay, Toronto, Baltimore, Mitch White against average pitcher. Again, I will stay away, of course, from this game later too, but this is close to even game. Tampa Bay Rays against Boston. Jeffrey Springs, Eovaldi. Based on my projections, Boston should be small favorite in this one. Bookmakers have them as a small underdog. I almost found a value with first 5 innings on Boston, but still not there to make a bet. Arizona, Milwaukee beat Arizona yesterday. They are still fighting. Just a second. Philadelphia is already in playoffs, so they are out. So that's it. So they will play for the fans. Yesterday they beat Arizona. They were a little bit lucky at the end because they came back in 9th inning and then they won in extra inning. So based on my projections, they should be minus 120. I don't know how this will affect on them, so I recommend to stay away from this game. Washington Mets, they are also playing 2 games, so this is just prediction with 2 league average pitchers for the teams. So even if those 2 teams start with league average pitchers, Mets should be at minus 232. So they are much better team. Yankees against Texas, the second game. Stay away from this game, of course. 2 Yankees minus 160. This is my projected number. Then we have Minnesota against Chicago White Sox. Winner against Giolito. Based on my projections, Chicago White Sox should have 55.76% of chance. So my odds minus 126, bookmakers minus 120. So this is very similar, no value. Philadelphia, Houston, no odds from bookmakers. My projected odds minus 179 on Houston. With Verlander on the mound. Angels against Oakland. Based on my projections, Angels with Lorenzen should be at minus 142. Bookmakers minus 127. So maybe small value with Angels. But based on my formula, which shows me if I should bet or not, there's still not enough. Okay, so I'm looking for number 1 or bigger. So the bigger the number, the bigger the value for me. Okay, San Francisco Giants, San Diego Padres, Carlos Rodon, Sean Manaea. Based on my projections, San Francisco should be small favorite in this one, minus 114. I believe we will get them as an underdog, but we will wait until bookmakers open their odds, and then I will decide. Maybe I will stay away from this game because they will probably change lineups, and so maybe pitchers. I don't know. Okay, but this is my first projection. And then the last game, Colorado against LA Dodgers, Feltner against Urias. Based on my projections, of course, Colorado will have only 27.90% of chance to win this game. So my fair odds plus 258, bookmakers plus 298, small value with Colorado, of course. But if you bet on Colorado, you still have only 27.90% of chance to win this game. So there's not enough value with Colorado to win this game today. But I found small value with Colorado in first 5 innings. Based on my projections, they should be at plus 181. Bookmakers have them at plus 270, or in decimal odds 2.81 and 3.70. There is 9.45% difference between my and their odds, and I found that the best bet in this game is Colorado first 5 innings with the spread or run line plus 1, okay, at plus 126. So Colorado should not lose. It can be a draw, and if they lose by 1 in first 5 innings, the money is refunded. Okay, we get these odds at plus 126 at 1 unit. So we have 3 bets. If you go to my website underdogchance.com, if you click on picks, if you click on MLB picks, those are active picks at this moment. I will add NHL, NBA later, or you can also select this. So this is something I'm doing right now. MLB picks. If you scroll down, you can see Chicago Cubs and all the 3 bets today, and also probabilities. Okay, for today. So that's it from me today. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.